What's up, you guys? If you saw my last video on the market crashing here in Metro Atlanta, I alluded to what this means for buyers. Well, I'm going to tell you what it means for buyers right now. Well, here is where I would say there is, relatively speaking, good news for buyers. Yes, good news. Now, as a buyer, you may have an opportunity to get back into the market if, in fact, you've been out of the market for the last 2 years because of how hot the market and how competitive it's been. And the reason why is because there are less buyers in the market. And I'll give you a good example right here that you can see that when I put an offer on a house for my client, he wanted to buy this house. It was a ranch house in Duluth. During the inspection period, found a whole bunch of items that needed to be repaired. We ended up getting a credit towards his closing costs that the seller paid of an amount that was not seen on any of my contracts over the last 2.5 years, and it is this amount, $10,000. It's very hard to see a credit being accepted by a seller on the initial offer, but even much more harder to see that it happens during the inspection period, or also known as due diligence period. A lot of times people were having to waive their due diligence just 5 or 6 months ago. And now we can finally get due diligence, be able to get the repairs negotiated with the seller and have them cover it either by repairing it or giving you a credit towards the closing costs. And this right here, I'm talking 10,000 is a lot. Usually I see anywhere from 500 to 2,000 as the normal range, but 10,000 is unheard of. As a buyer, another scenario that I'm running into that could be beneficial to you in this current market shift is this. If you already own a house and you need to sell the house in order to purchase a house, which you can see that I did a video on that a few months ago, it's not as difficult to do anymore. Here's another big one. For the first time in 2 years, I got an offer with a sales contingency accepted by the seller. Well, what is a sales contingency? What does that mean? It means that you're putting an offer on a house and you're able to pay this amount of money that you say that you're going to pay, but only contingent upon selling your house first, because you got to take the proceeds of the sale of that home and use it towards a down payment to qualify for the loan to purchase the next home. Well, in the market that we've been in the last 2 years, it was so darn near impossible to get any offer like that accepted. You had to go through a cash program called Homeward, an institution that lend you the money, or you just had to sell your house first and then find a place to rent or a family member to stay with or an extended stay hotel and go through all this hassle. But now, for the first time, I had an offer accepted just last week on a house. We put in an offer for $10,000 less than the asking price with $15,000 credit towards closing costs accepted on the initial offer, not part of the inspection. And on top of that, saying that we have to sell our house first, their house, my seller's house, first before being able to purchase this one. That is huge. So yes, there are more opportunities. And here's the biggest question that I've been getting is, well, Tim, even if I get an opportunity to buy now because there's less competition, aren't I still paying really high prices? Well, here's what I can say to that. If you are looking to buy a home to live in as a primary residence long-term, especially in upwards of 8 years or more, then really there's not much of a detrimental impact on you, because I say this, that the interest rate is not going to stay high forever. I believe that it will come down again. Will it get down to 2.1% again? I don't think so. Will it get down as fast as 1 or 2 years from now versus say 4 or 5 years from now? Probably not either. But if you have a 30-year loan, at some point you're gonna be able to refinance. And when you refinance, you're gonna be saving $100 or maybe $200 or $300 per month on your mortgage payment when you do so. That opportunity is right there at your doorsteps.